Or Lionsgate Portal 888 light codes signifying a remarkable alignment of celestial bodies designating abundance and success. I hope everyone is doing as positive as possible. With Earth positioned at the center focal point, our convergence today highlights a unique transition zone between the spiritual and the physical realms as we move further into Aquarius. Now, in ancient cosmology, the universe was conceived as existing between the ideal extremes of the eternal and the temporal spheres. In Hellenistic times, the outermost sphere was the sphere of the divine intellect, and that was equated with the intelligible realm of Plato, the repository of the universal principles on which creation is based. Okay, the sphere of Earth, while informed by universal principles, is the realm of the greatest temporal change. The sun we see in the sky, which occupies the middle sphere of the planetary ladder, was regarded as both the mediator between heaven and earth and the central orchestrator of the planetary dance. According to Poseidon, the realm above the moon, which is the supermoon area, is imperishable and heavenly, and then the realm below the moon, the sublunar sphere, is subject to change and decay. And the two realms are, however, bound together by the phenomena of us, humanity, which represents the bond called desmos. You have the cosmos and then the desmos, between the spiritual and the material, the divine and the terrestrial. Man represents the highest manifestation of the material realm, but still the lowest manifestation of the spiritual realm. Therefore, between humanity and the high God, there exist the souls of heroes and the lesser divinities. God is man awake, and man is God asleep. At the heart of Greek symbolic cosmology, gematria and geometry go together hand in hand. So the simple circle with a circumference of 891 has a diameter of 284.891. And coincidentally, that's the number of the Greek word Uranos, which translates to heaven, while the diameter 284 is the number Theos, which translates to God or divinity. Poseidon taught that the second sublunar world that we inhabit depends upon the upper spiritual world for its vital existence. The lower world is nourished by and lives from the heavenly forces which are poured into it from the first. While earlier Stoics viewed God as rational and a fiery spirit known as pneuma that permeated the substrate of the universe, kind of like the black sun, Poseidon contributed the idea that the world is permeated by a life power, kind of like the ethereal field, known as zodiac dynamis, zodiac, which originates from the sun, an idea in which, besides being based on a scientific thought, it would be heavenly influential in the later Hellenistic mysticism and Hellenistic theology. And we can, for example, see this idea expressed very clearly in the pagan Hermetic writings, where the sun is portrayed as the sower and the reaper of souls of all life. Now, the logos, or the astrologos, which exist here and now in the manifested world, yet without the power of mind and the power of light knowledge, the created material world is unaware of these higher realities, even though, like how I just said, how we read, the higher realities mirror us, and the higher realities pour life into us. The logos came unto its own, humanity, but not everyone recognized its nature. Not everyone is aware of this. You guys know that. Yet those who receive the logos, you guys know who you are, the dayspring from on high and believed in its divine name, experienced a spiritual regeneration, referred to elsewhere in this gospel as the birth from above, and like the logos itself, became sons of God, Christ consciousness. The logos was made flesh. It became incarnate in the universe via the principle of humanity and was manifest among us. Now, it is difficult to adequately stress and express how much the ideology of a spiritual hierarchy was being explored by people in the spiritual outlook of the Hellenistic period, relating to the idea of the celestial ascent and descent of the soul, the materializing and relocalizing again. And real quick, for those who don't know what time period is the Hellenistic period, before Christ was supposedly alive, there was a very short time period in which there were kings ruling the Roman period, but there were times when kings would die and there's a transition period, and so the monarchy of the Roman Empire was not being enforced during those transition periods, so people were free to explore free ideas of individuality, like Rastafarianism or magic or other stuff. They were free to explore other ideas other than the preferred establishment at that time. Now, according to views that are as old as Plato, the pre-existing soul that resides within us drinks from the stream of forgetfulness, and we descend into the world of change through chronological time, forgetting our true celestial origin as one mind and one spirit. But through philosophy, however, it may recall its origin, and in the world of first principles can regain its seat amongst the blessed. So Poseidon believed that souls came from the sun, the source of all life, and descends to the earth via the moon. According to Plutarch, who was a priest of Apollo and a contemporary of Jesus, supposedly, man is composed of soma, psyche, and nous, body, soul, and divine intellect, derived from earth, moon, and sun, respectively, the Holy Trinity. Shown above is the Greek spelling of the name Jesus, which amounts to the number 888, which is equivalent to the sun in the sky. The Christian Gnostics identified Jesus as the Logos, or the Astrologos, and the spiritual sun. They taught that this number 888 symbolized the perfection and harmony of the spiritual realm. Clement of Alexandria, who was an early church father, also referred to Jesus as the spiritual son and explained how the power of the Logos tuned the disparate elements of creation into musical harmony. In view of his statements, it is interesting to observe first that 888 is mathematically related to the so-called magic square of the sun. Secondly, in musical tuning theory, with which Clement was well acquainted with, 888 is the ratio, the logos, of the whole entire tune, the mediating bond between the two tetrachords of the octave. Consistent with these facts, Clement referred to the then recent manifestations of Christianity as the quote-unquote new song of the eternal Logos, a new spiritual expression of the pre-existing pattern of harmony on which all of creation is based. The number 666 is actually divine and is associated with the figure of traditional cosmology known as the magic square of the sun. It contains the first 36 numbers arranged in a 6x6 grid so that each line of numbers, whether added vertically, horizontally, or diagonally, regardless, it equals to the number 111. The value of the entire square is therefore 666. In the magical branch of the Jewish Kabbalistic tradition, each planet is associated with a particular intelligence and spirit. Now, the name of the spirit is numerically derived from all of the numbers comprising the magical square of the planet, while the name of the intelligence is derived from the sum of any line. 888, the number of Jesus, the spiritual son of the early Christians, like 666 and other triple entendres, may be derived from the magic square of the sun, and for this reason, triple numbers were apparently thought to have a solar significance. The meaning of this statement is fairly simple. The name Jesus, 888, is a perfect name encompassing the whole of creation, and is reflected in the perfection of the 24th letter of the classical Greek alphabet, which numerically contains 8 letters denoting hundreds, 8 denoting tens, and 8 denoting units. Jesus, therefore, is the Alpha and Omega, the all-encompassing spiritual plenitude, which was made manifest by the descent of the dove at his baptism. And the entire magic square therefore equals 666, a number which was significant to early Christian mystics. And in Hebrew Kabbalah, the names of the intelligence of the sun and the spirit of the sun were designed to equal 111 and 666 respectively. Like 888, 666 is an important musical number because 0.666 is the ratio of the perfect fifth, the most powerful harmonic interval. I am the light of the world. He who follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. John 8:12. Also Psalm 84:11. For the Lord God is both a sun and a shield, providing light and protection to those who follow him. Because the black sun in the center vortex is the cosmoplasma sun that creates the Son of God and is a shield simultaneously. Since the Logos represents the heart of the cosmic pattern and the source of its existence, its emblem is the sun, the source of life and light, and that's where we get love from. where this symbolism originated in a historical sense is difficult to ascertain because, as an ancient cosmologist might state, it is eternally revealed by the nature of the universe itself to whoever it chooses to show. One thing we know for certain is that in the Pythagorean and the Platonic schools of Hellenistic Alexandria, the sun came to be regarded as the doorway, linking together the sensible and the intelligible, the material and the spiritual orders of existence. Helios was seen as the heart of the celestial pattern, and his physical aspect was considered as the lower manifestation of a higher principle, which we may characterize as the idea of the solar logos, or what I am claiming is the black sun, the astrologos.